Hello students, I hope all of you are doing very well. So welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. I have created a new playlist in my channel for standard 10th social science, okay, democratic politics part 2, okay, part 1 you already have studied in class 9th. This is just a sequence of that. Fine. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it now. Please hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its instant notification, okay. I already have made a separate playlist for class 10th science. If you wish, you can see it there. Just search standard 10th science Pratik Singh Classes and you will get all the videos related to science, okay, for 10th textbook. Fine. From now onwards, I have started a new thing that is called as takeaways. Okay. So based on the videos which I will make, okay, whether it is a political science, okay, or science or any other subject for class 10, if you ask any question in the comment section and if I get that question to be innovative, okay, you will get something from me. Okay. It may be a goodie, it may be a gift voucher or gift hamper, okay, or something like that. While you are typing or when you are writing the question in the comment section, okay, or any queries, okay, please mention your name, your place of living and your school's name, which I will mention in the questionnaire video. Questionnaire video will be released on every Sunday. Fine. So let us start our today's class, that is social science chapter 1. Alright, so let us start the first tutorial video for standard 10th social science unit 1 chapter 1, that is power sharing. Fine. Topic is Belgium and Sri Lanka. Okay, Belgium is a European country and its size is very small. On the other hand, Sri Lanka is our neighbor, the Asian country. Okay, Belgium is a small country in Europe, as smaller than the area of Haryana itself. It has borders with France, the Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. Okay, so it has 4 neighboring countries and also it is a landlocked country, means none of the part of Belgium touches the sea. Okay, it has a population of a little over 1 crore, about half the population of Haryana. Okay, we have states bigger than this country Belgium, as well as we have many states whose population is bigger than Belgium. The ethnic composition, ethnic means what types of religion people follow there, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism and others also, of this country is very complex. Okay, of the country's total population, 59% lives in the Flemish region and speak Dutch language. Okay, then another 40% people live in the Wallonia region and speak French. Okay, ethnicity not only means about the religion but also what people speak, the way of their living and some other factors also, which we will see later in this chapter. Fine. So we have 59 plus 40, 99, and remaining 1% of the Belgians speak German. Okay, so as we can see here, 59% people, let me change this, 59% people speak Dutch, 40% people speak French and just a 1% speak German. What is happening here? In the capital city Brussels, 80% people speak French while 20% of people speaking Dutch there. Okay, the majority French speaking community were relatively rich and powerful. Okay, this was represented by the Dutch speaking community who got the benefit of economic development and education much later. Okay, this led to tension between the Dutch speaking and French speaking communities during the 1950s and 1960s. It always happens in any part of the world that if one community becomes richer than the other, the poorer community starts they start fighting with the richer one. Okay, whether the richness is in the form of art or culture or monetary value or land, okay, or even sometimes religion. The tension between the two communities were much more acute in Brussels, okay, the capital city of Belgium. Fine. Brussels presented a special problem. The Dutch-speaking people constituted a majority in the country but a minority in the capital. So what happened here is 59% people speak French here, Dutch here, but they are in minority in the capital city. Okay, let us compare this to the situation in the another country, Sri Lanka, which is our neighbor and an island nation. Okay, just a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. It has about 2 crore people, about the same as in Haryana. Like other nations in the South Asia region, Sri Lanka has a diverse population. Okay, their Sinhalese are there, then Tamilians are there, okay, Christians, Buddhisms are there, both are there. Okay, it has a diverse population. The major social groups are the Sinhala speakers, that is 74%, and the remaining 18% are Tamil speakers. Among Tamils there are 2 subgroups, okay, Tamil natives of the country, okay, and are called Sri Lankan Tamils, that is 13%, and the rest whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during colonial period are called as Indian Tamils. Okay, the Britishers took these Tamils, okay, in Sri Lanka for sugar cane plantation and rubber and coffee that you have studied in class 9th. Okay, so here it became some problem, okay, in Tamil Nadu, okay, in Sri Lanka. Okay, they have Sinhalese, then they have native Tamils, and then Indian Tamils, the descendants of Indian Tamils, the rest whose forefathers came from India. Okay, fine. As you can see from the map, Sri Lankan Tamils are concentrated in the north and east of the country. Okay, so as you can see, Sri Lankan Tamils, they are situated in the north and east of the country. Okay, here, okay, as you can see in this color, what is happening here. Okay, and then coming back, most of the Sinhala speaking people are Buddhists, while most of the Tamils are Hindus or Muslims. Okay, so whether they are Indian descendants Tamil or native Tamil of Sri Lanka, they follow either Hinduism or Islam, Muslim. There are about 7% Christians who are both Tamil as well as Sinhala. Okay, just imagine what could happen in situations like this. In Belgium, the Dutch community could take advantage of its numeric majority and force its will on the French and German speaking population. Okay, might is the will, that means higher will be the population, their needs will be considered first, okay, or their demands will be considered first. This would push the conflict among communities further. This could lead to a very messy partition of the country. Okay, so when it comes to Dutch speaking people, they are in majority in Belgium, but in the city town they are in minority. Okay, both the sides would claim control over Brussels. Okay, that in Brussels the minority speaking people, okay, are in majority, and in other part of the country the Dutch speaking peoples are in majority. Okay, so Dutch in minority in Brussels, and there French and German speaking peoples are in majority. So it may be happen that the two sides, the two parties, one side the Dutch speaking and the other side the French and German speaking people, they want demand over Brussels. Okay, likewise in Sri Lanka the Sinhala community enjoyed an even bigger majority and could impose its will on the entire country. Okay, because most of the region of Sri Lanka are based by Sinhala people. Okay, are occupied by Sinhala people. Okay, now let us look at what happened in both these countries. How the government in Sri Lanka as well as in Brussels, Belgium, okay, take care of this issue, and how this is not a disadvantage for both the countries. Coming back to Sri Lanka, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948, 1 year after us. The leaders of the Sinhala community sought to secure dominance over government by virtue of their majority. Okay, those people, the Sinhala leaders said that because we are in majority, we must have higher powers, or we must be the main authority of the country. As a result, the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhala supremacy. Okay, so what really happened there is elections happened. Okay, and the majority was the Sinhalas, and the government which were made by the Sinhalas mostly. Okay, they wanted the Sinhalas to be in democratically advantage. Okay, in 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language, thus disregarding Tamil. Okay, they said that Tamil, because Tamilians are very less in the number, Tamil cannot be the official language of the country. Okay, they said Sinhala will be the only official language of the country. All right. Furthermore, the governments followed preferential policies that favored Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs. Okay, means government has made some laws according to which laws the Sinhalas were given higher preferences in government services, in universities, in schools. Okay, and a lot of other government benefits. Okay, a new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. Okay, as further it has happened that Buddhists started affecting the situation of the country. All these government measures coming one after the other gradually increased the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. Okay, that means they started thinking that because the government is not taking care of ourselves, okay, they are just taking care of the Sinhalas, so let us come out of the country, let us secede from the country and make a new country where only the Tamil speaking people will live, and that from there the rise of LTTE has happened. Okay, about LTTE a lot of things were there which also correlates the Indian politics, which you can study in history books, and a lot of documentaries are available on YouTube or in Google. Fine. Okay, they felt that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Sinhala leaders was sensitive to their language and culture. Okay, also the culture of the Sinhalas, Buddhists, and the culture of Hindus and Muslims, Tamilians, okay, they were totally different, and they started thinking that they are boycotting us. Okay, they felt that the constitution which they are amending year after year, government policies denied equal political rights, discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities, and ignored their interests. Okay, the Indian and native Tamilians there, they started thinking that all the political rights, most of them are given to the Sinhalas. Okay, then in jobs and in education partialities are happening. Okay, then even the constitutions are being changed or amended only for Sinhalas. Okay, and because their ethnicity, their language, their culture were different, they thought that our culture is being ruined. Okay, or the government is powerfully forcing us to change our culture or language or the way we are. As a result, the relations between the Sinhala and Tamil communities strained over time. Okay, and they started fighting with each other. The Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language, for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. Okay, here what really has happened, few people become leader and they started leading the Tamils, either Sri Lankan Tamils or Indian descendant Tamils. Okay, and they started asking for regional autonomy, means the places where their population is higher, they wanted autonomy from the country, and also in other parts of the country they wanted equal opportunities for education, for jobs and all other rights. But the demand for more autonomy to provinces populated by the Tamils was repeatedly denied. Okay, the Sinhala government, okay, they refused their demand of equal benefits like them. By 1980, several political organizations were formed demanding an independent Tamil elam in northern and eastern parts of Sri Lanka. Okay, elam means a state. Okay, in Tamil. Okay, so they started demanding that the places where the population of Tamils are high, it must be a new state, okay, or it may secede from the country and make a new country. Okay, the distrust between the two communities turned into widespread conflict, and soon after it converted into the civil war. As a result, thousands of people of both the communities have been killed. The Sinhala killed the Tamilians and the Tamilians killed the Sinhalas. Okay, many families were forced to leave the country as refugees and more lost their livelihoods. Okay, so if you see the current political structure of Tamil Nadu, you will find there that the most of the people who left Sri Lanka have taken refuge in has become refugee in Tamil Nadu, okay, or the nearer parts of Tamil Nadu. Okay, about Sri Lanka's excellent record of economic development, education and health, but the civil war has caused a terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country. Okay, at that time, because of the spices and tea, copper and rubber export, the country was full of richness, but because of this civil war, okay, the country's health or its economic health decreased year by year. Fine, so that is the situation in Sri Lanka among Sinhalese and Tamils. Okay, now coming to the situation of Belgium, what really has happened in Belgium and how it is similar to the case of Sri Lanka. Alright, the Belgian leaders took a different path. They recognized the existence of regional differences and cultural diversities. Okay, means how the cluster, okay, or how the Dutch and the French speaking people, okay, how different ethnicity can live in harmony. Okay, for that the Belgian leaders have taken some special steps. Between 1970 and 1993, about 23 years, they amended their constitution 4 times so as to work out an arrangement between the Dutch and the French and the German speaking people to live together within the same country, not to secede from the country or not to take control over the center state or central city of the country, okay, or the capital city of the country. The arrangement they worked out is different from another country and was very innovative. Okay, because of this innovative amendment in constitution, okay, till now there happened no civil war in Belgium because of the difference in ethnicity or the language. Here are some of the elements of the Belgium model. How have they amended their constitution, what rules they made, and how they take care of all the ethnic people in the country, in the mostly in the capital region. Constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Okay, so in this way it can be given equal authority to the Dutch and the Germany and the French speaking people. Okay, just a minute. Okay, all right. Then some special laws require support of majority of members from each linguistic groups. Thus, no single community can make decisions unilaterally. Okay, that means whenever a decision is to be made, okay, both the communities leaders have to come together and make the new rule or amend the constitution in Belgium. Many powers of the central government have been given to state governments of the two regions of the country. That means they made their system federal as in our country. The state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Means they can make their own rules, okay, as is happening in our country. Okay, Brussels has a separate government in which both the communities have equal representation. Okay, so it is just like in the country there is a government, and in the state or in the center there is another government. Okay, and in that government both the communities, okay, the French speakers and the Dutch speakers are taking equal representations or getting equal rights. The French-speaking people accepted equal representation in Brussels because the Dutch-speaking community had accepted equal representation in the central government. Okay, that means whether they are in majority or minority, their representation in the center as well as in government, as well as in the state became equal. So this was the special rule or special Belgian model. Okay. Apart from the center and the state government, there is a third